welcome back. In this video, we are looking at a really fun blues fingerstyle song, Hey Hey by Big Bill Broonzy. I'm going off of the Eric Clapton's unplugged version on this, but they're very similar, so you can kind of watch both videos and compare. You might see some slight differences in what I'm doing and what Clapton is doing. It's hard to say because on his unplugged version, there's another guitar player there, kind of doubling him. So you might see some variability in how people play it, but I'll show you what I do, and then you can kind of make changes as you see fit if needed. So this is a 12-bar blues in E. We've got two sections to cover. We've got the solo section, and then the section with the lyrics where things get a little bit simplified. Some changes in there, but definitely some similarities from the solo section. Song is definitely going to challenge the coordination between the right and the left hands. Very important to make firm decisions on left hand fingerings and then right hand fingerings as well in terms of what we're using for the chords or single notes, and I'm going to walk through all that in detail. So for a big chunk of it, kind of assigning fingers here, right? So thumb is going to be taking care of the bass notes, while the index, middle, and ring are kind of assigned to strings 3, 2, and 1, or 4, 3, and 2. It moves around, but we'll go over all that in each part. And it's going to be a great builder for chord knowledge. So if these chords are not familiar to you, then you can have some great blues chords, very traditional blues chords to make use of here. So let's just go through that first so we know exactly where we're going to be going. So the first chord we're going to see is this E7 sharp 9. Rather than call out all the strings, frets, fingers, all that stuff, I'm just going to let you get a good look at that. Play each note. I can just call out the fret numbers there. So open, 7, 6, 7, 8, open. Then we've got this A7 chord right there. Of course, we're going to have kind of standard E7 chord over here. You could think about putting your ring finger in place. So like there's E major, add the pinky, we've got E7. I just leave that ring finger off. So I've got finger 2 on, finger 1, and finger 4 there. That's open, 2, open, 1, 3, open, E7. And then A7 here with a bar. I'm going to have a 4-string bar. So crossing 1, 2, 3, 4, open, string 5, and then 2, 2, 2, and my second finger on the 3rd fret of string 1 there. And that is a movable shape. Slide that up 2 frets to 4 and 5, and that's going to be our B7 chord. So real quick, again, E7 sharp 9, A7, and E7, A7. We're going to be moving, and that's B7, we're going to be moving around, creating these little lines with these chords, but it's nice to have just a visual representation and get the hand comfortable with these chord shapes because they are kind of the foundation of what you're moving around, right? Because you could, just play through the whole tune. You can just kind of make things up with those chords going through the 12-bar blues. Of course, we're going to do that in a very specific way. So let's just go ahead and jump right into that. All right, so I'll just go through each little piece slowly, giving you details here and there, what I'm doing in the right hand, but pay attention to the chord shapes because, like I said, that's kind of the foundation of everything, right? So starting on string 5 fret 2 and sliding up to our E7 sharp 9 chord, we're going to go. And when I get to that 7th fret, I'm just going to jump off and pluck that open 6th string. Get my E7 sharp 9 chord on, and I'm going to play 6, 4, 3, 2, and that's going to be with a bend on that second string. Lift the pinky and then pluck 6, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then going to leave that and go to our A7 chord there. Again. So it's alternating with that open 6 bass, and then we're going to have that note on string 2, fret 8, open 1, open 2. So that's all thumb, all 4 fingers, all 4 fingers, and now alternating, and then index here, middle, index. So you're going to be playing that a lot. Okay, making sure we're hanging on to that swing feel. Okay, now going to the A7 chord. We're going to kind of reverse here and go from string 5, fret 7 and slide down and then pluck that open A. So let me just go through it slowly here. So most of that is just strings 5, 2, and 1. And when I land on that A7 chord initially, I'm going to hit that string 3, fret 2 with my index finger. And then I'm just using thumb, middle, and ring here. Right, lifting off the bar there. Whole thing slowly. Return to the E7 sharp 9 chord. Okay, now we get to the B7 chord. We're going to go jump over here to string 4, fret 1, and slide to fret 4. Alright? So let me play it slowly and then I'll break it down. Okay, so it's very similar to what we did on the A7 chord. Slide from 1 to 4, index finger on the 3rd string there, and then I'm using my thumb, middle, and ring again. Pinky out here to fret 7. One more time. Okay, then we slide down here to our A7 chord, string 5, open, string 3, fret 2. And then we're going to have this kind of rolling pull off. Because we're using a bar, it's not going to be as snappy as it would be if it was just, you know, that first finger was sitting on that 2nd fret of the 1st string alone. So that, but with the speed, it'll come out, right? So we're going to pluck strings 5, 2, and 1 here, pull off, and pull off. All right, and it's kind of a roll off there. So that's the A7 chord. That brings us to the turnaround. Definitely more intricate here. We've got more single note playing rather than plucking chords. Details to think about in the left and right hand, so I'll point some of that out along the way. First, just kind of show you the notes arrhythmically, so you can match that up and then start stringing it together. So I'm using just thumb, index, and middle throughout all of that. That line, all on strings 2 and 1, using my index on string 2 and middle on string 1. Also using my index finger for that little hammer on the string 3 fret 1. Okay, so now I'm just going to play through all of that at a slow tempo so you have a slow version to play along with. Still trying to keep the swing feel groove present, but here we go. That brings us to the section with the vocals. We're going to go through this a little bit more quickly. Not as many details to think about as the solo section, but we'll still cover everything. So starting out with this E7 chord that I pointed out at the beginning, finger 2 on string 5 fret 2, finger 1 on string 3 fret 1, and finger 4 on string 2 fret 3. So I'm just kind of copying what Clapton's doing here, just a very light strumming with the thumb, and I'm intentionally using my flesh here. I have nails, I don't think Clapton does, but just a little brush stroke here, just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, keeping that swing feel, all right? So that's initially what we have going on, so very simplified to put vocals on top, and then we have a little riff that follows. So I'm just gonna play through it first. All right, so the part that follows the brush stroke there, I am hitting strings 6, 3, and 2 there. And then middle finger on string 2 open. And then thumb and index on 6 and 2, and I'm gonna put my pinky back down. And then middle on open 1. Time. And with the brush stroke at the beginning, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, we'll put that together with all of it at the end. Okay, and that brings us to the A7 chord, definitely more simplified here. I'm just going to play through this so you can see it and hear it. Same thing twice there. And I'm just using thumb, index, and middle. My middle finger is only playing string 1, index is doing strings 2 and 3. Then that brings us back to the E7 chord, and it's going to be the back half of what we just played. 1 and 2, 3. Okay. We'll come back to all of this. And then the B7 chord, basically the same thing as the A7. It's just that my bass note is on string 4 instead of string 5 for the A7. And then slide down to A7. And then we get that turnaround. It enters a little bit differently, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to play through that whole section slowly. That is everything, guys. Work on it in small sections. Memorize everything you do in the left and the right hand. And I might recommend eliminating things like slides, pull-offs, hammer-ons if they're throwing you off, right? Until you start connecting everything, connecting all the different parts and getting it to groove a little bit. You know, in particular, I'm talking about like that slide. Very cool way to start it off. But you want to make sure that you can get into these chord shapes comfortably, and that moving around like that, transitioning, is going to make it more difficult. So just eliminate it initially if you're having trouble with that, and then you can add it in later once everything else is feeling comfortable. Have fun with that one, guys. See you in the next video. Thanks.